What's going on, guys? Evan here, bringing you another Dark Souls gameplay. This should be going up to accompany my depths run. It just seemed kind of counterintuitive to show you guys, how to farm in the depths, but not show you how to fight the boss of the depths, so here you are. I would be lying if I said I was predicting a really advanced strategy for this boss fight, because the more technical you make it, the harder it becomes. I'll explain that once he actually gets on screen here. I have to admit, this is easily one of the most original Dragon Balls I've seen. One of the least cosmetically appealing, but still really original. It's like a giant alligator with a dragon for like the top half of the torso, I think. I don't know, but it's pretty cool. It's ugly, but it's pretty cool. And it's got a lot of teeth and stuff, and that will one-shot you. I've actually had some of my friends ask me if like he actually will eat you, and yeah, he will. He's pretty slow about it, but he'll eat you. And if you hit him in the mouth, you do like double damage, but don't do that. So, I guess I'm just going to jump right into the one and only strategy that matters. Well, I guess there's a couple, but, it's all going to boil down to one thing. First off, you'll see I have the NPCs there fighting with me. There's two summon signs for Lautrec and Solitaire if you met them earlier in the game. My advice is bring neither. They actually make the fight harder. I brought them here for a very specific reason. I want Solitaire to live through this fight, because if Solitaire lives, he'll give me a sunlight medal. And Lautrec is here basically to draw fire from Solitaire. It doesn't work out. Solitaire's going to get beat down, and Lautrec gets eaten, I think. Anyway, point is, start of the fight, my advice is run towards the back where his tail is, and just cut his tail off, just to get the weapon. It's unlikely you'll have enough strength to use it ever, but it's pretty cool, so, pick it up. Why not? Plus, once the tail's gone, he literally has no attacks from the back side. So I guess, the trick to not dying is not getting killed by the tail slap. I don't mean to oversimplify it, but that's pretty much it. So the trick is, at that point, is how do I cut the tail off safely? Well, that's actually a simple affair. But you can pretty much attack him anywhere you want it to be a simple affair if you follow this. Many bosses, the trick to avoiding it is to roll or block or duck, and all of that works here. But I found it to be all somewhat unreliable. And when I first did this, I wanted to get a technical video that looked like I was really, really swift on my feet, like, I was pretty sweet at this game, but that just kept getting me killed, so I made it simple. That's a big trick about a lot of video games that seem hard, is keep it simple. Normally on this game, keeping it simple means blocking instead of rolling, and countering instead of parrying, But in this case, the big thing you'll notice about this boss's patterns is all his attacks come from the front side, his mouth, his hands, his legs, his many sets of legs, and that, I'll explain that. It's like the bubbling acid that he throws down. It makes your equipment break. The trick is when he does that, just run away from him. Like any boss, you get pinned in the corner, you're probably going to die, but there's no excuse for that happening. Now with all sort of the precursor information, oh, he just got eaten. Now with all the, the foreplay out of the way, let me just tell you the secret to this fight. Run away. Just run far away from him, and just wait for him to crawl like an alligator across the screen like he just did, because you'll notice there's a huge window here just to start wailing on him. See, that's where he'd tail swipe. The trick to avoiding the tail swipe is to be up by his arms or blocking. Depending on how much stability and stamina you have, it might not hurt you. But once you get the tail off, you can just stand back here and sort of laugh at him, really. He jumps to reposition himself, and where he's going to land can be unpredictable, so my advice is just tilt your camera up whenever he jumps and just start rolling wherever he is not. It really is a simple fight that I lost a lot just because I made it too complicated. Because a lot of these big bosses, I've actually found the trick is to stay really close to them because they're too big to maneuver well. And at that point you can just sort of stay in their blind spot, like Sif is like that, the Great Wolf, you get the idea. But no, with this guy, he's still unmaneuverable, but his attacks have big arcs so they can catch you, like the Asylum Demon. The Asylum Demon, you want to stay close, but behind him. This is pretty much the same way once his tail's gone. If his tail's not gone, he can still kill you, so get that tail off as quickly as possible. And if you're still struggling, the easiest way is literally at all times just to run. Drop your lock on, run from any attack he makes, and then when he slams his body down like this, he's probably going to try to crawl around. Once he crawls around, just don't engage him while he's crawling, because, if his body bumps you, it'll knock you down and do a little bit of damage. Just keep up with him, and be ready to start swinging two-handed the minute he I guess, lifts his mouth and torso up over the other half of his body. Like, he folds up into dragon form and out of alligator form. I don't know. It really is that simple, so if you're struggling, you're probably overthinking it. Just stay behind him and cut at the tail. Since I've started the strategy of just running away and not trying to roll or dodge, just running away in general, I haven't game overed on this fight yet. When the first time I was trying to engage him close range, I got killed, you know, over and over again and lost a bunch of humanity. Lost a lot of humanity trying to escape my Appalachian accent and grammatical tendencies. Regardless, that's the Gaping Dragon boss, sort of explained in the nutshell. He has a lot of life, and you want to have a weapon that actually does damage just so you're not here forever. Because, you know, the longer you're in the fight, the more chance you'll get impatient and screw up. So I'm using a Dragon Longsword +5. A lightning weapon's really the most efficient. If you're on New Game, you might not have that. You can make a Fire Blade if you can go down to the Catacombs. It works fine. A +10 normal weapon you get from the Large Ember in the Depths works fine. Just anything with damage. Really, at this point in the game, most people will probably still be using the Drake Sword, and that works fine. Two-handed Drake Sword does plenty of damage to this guy, and that should work out fine. I just like this because it's a little more damage than Drake's Sword, and it's less weight, less strength. This is a low-strength character. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I always appreciate it. You know, if you guys like, subscribe, comment. I'll be putting more of these up, and I'm not paid to do this, so I'm not asking for you to subscribe just to make money. I want you to watch. Thanks.